Hey guys, Doug here. How's it going? Happy Friday to you. Today I have a review of the brand new for 2018 Lemax Spooky Town Michaels exclusive, the Wasteland Pub. Whenever the buildings were announced several months back, this one garnered the most discussion because it just looks so different than the the normal stuff that's in Spooky Town. So let's get right into it. The Wasteland Pub is post-apocalyptic themed. If you're familiar with and a fan of the Fallout video game series, you're gonna love this. It also reminds me of like Borderlands. And of course, you know, Mad Max, the Road Warrior, basically anything post-apocalyptic when you're dealing with like a wasteland. And more on the theming in a minute, but I mentioned in my last week's review of the Symphony of Screams that it had like an old-time Lemax feel to it, right? And this one actually gives off the same vibes to me. The one is the construction of it. It feels a little bit heavier than you know, some buildings previous years or even this year, and it reminds me of Symphony of Screams in that way. It's just a little bit heavier, and that's sort of how a lot of them were, you know, back in the day, kind of during the golden years. But the fit and finish on this, wow, it is. This is a very, very nicely done building here. You know, the construction of this, just by nature, is a little bit different because of it's not a regular house. It's this ramshackle pub that's been put together here, you know, out of like aluminum paneling, and it's got patches all over it, and the paint job just looks phenomenal on it, and great texture on it. It really looks and feels like what, you know, an aluminum building would be. Of course, don't tap on it like you would an aluminum building. You won't get the same response, you know, that ting ting. But the looks, though, they really nailed the aesthetic here. You also have so many details all around it. You can see like the menu, you know, behind the proprietor of the place, and the side of it here, you can see other menu, and there's just signs everywhere. It's just chock full of details, really cool. And this piece, I should say, it's not animated, but the lighting actually gives the appearance of animation. You'll see at the end of this video when I do the light and sound that different little scenes within light up and the guys talk, so it gives the appearance of it. And of course, you also have the flames up here, which are, you know, kind of flickering, which look really cool. Looks like a refinery of some sorts. It really nails that post-apocalyptic feeling. It's really cool. Now the lighting on this is surprising. It is phenomenal, man. This thing has layered lighting. I mentioned the flames that, you know, the flicker on the top of it, like the refinery ones, but man, it looks awesome. You have the centerpiece here underneath the dude with the gas mask. Again, this reminds me of like the cover of Borderlands or something, you know, video game you can see here. And but anyways, you've got this big gas mask on the top, and then it says Wasteland Pub under it, and it's bathed in purple light, which looks really, really cool. And then, you know, around it, you've got the green lights, and they go on and off depending on who's talking in the scene if you have the sound on. And even if you don't have the sound on, it still looks cool because it just adds some more dynamic lighting to it, you know, with them kind of changing around. And you know, you had the flames on the top, but you also have the grill here that's on fire, and you can see in the scene, you know, with the sound, that there's a flamethrower dude who's charring all this roadkill. It's pretty funny. That's the other thing with it, the humor here. It's got a very macabre sense of humor, which I love. But you know, speaking of the people here, of course, you have the bartender here, and you can see his funny menu that he's got behind him. I kind of mentioned that before. But then you've got the guy on the side here with the flamethrower, who is, I suppose, the chef, basically grilling the roadkill. You've got this dude back here who's gnawing on bones, which sounds very gross when the sounds are on. And then you've got this, you know, I guess the town drunk who's in toxic waste drinking waste. It's again, it's hilarious. And you know, the whole apocalyptic theme here, this is really new for Spooky Town, at least to this degree. There's been some zombie pieces before, which, you know, would work with it. Like, I think the zombie fortress from a couple years ago would actually go great with this. But that's still more of, you know, like the zombie apocalypse and toxic waste. It's a little bit different than this, where this is like, again, like straight up, you know, out of like a Fallout game. I'm really hoping, and I know it's not just me here, that the Wasteland Pub is the start of a whole line of this post-apocalyptic thing. You know, in fiction, I've mentioned some of the video games that are popular, and of course, like Mad Max and Road Warrior, that's always going to be popular, you know, in movie-style stuff. But that stuff is popular in fiction right now, and it would really be cool to see a whole line of buildings that go around that. And the Wasteland Pub is a heck of a start if that's what they decide to do. Yeah, guys, I give this a 3 out of 3. This is a spectacular building, and I know in my local Michaels, the crazy thing, it's been out for a week, and this one is already sold out minus the floor decoration, or the the one that's on display there. The other ones have sold out, which is pretty crazy to me. And I know, you know, gauging the temperature online, you know, reading some comments of yours, and then being in all the Facebook groups and seeing everything that's going on, I know that this building, you know, a lot of people are loving this building, and I can see why. It's really, really unique for Spooky Town. Great lighting, great fit and finish. It's just it's a cool building. And you know what? This might not be for your style because it's not traditional Halloween. You could argue it's not Halloween at all, you know. But I like to see them do different stuff like this. And, it's a great addition to Lemax Spooky Town. All right, guys, thank you for watching. And for my review next week, as a teaser, we're going to take a trip to an abandoned house. Until then, though, here's the Wasteland Pub with the lights and sound.
Welcome to the Wasteland Pub. Can I take your order? Take your poison. I'm gonna make this roadkill extra crispy. Man, these bones are just the way I like them. New.